Aloha, welcome back to Christchurch at Ngāpurawai Stadium for the second of our double header today. Live rugby league here on Sky Sport as part of the Sky Sport National Competition. And there's the wonderful Port Hills in the background once again. Dale Husband with you, and Lowly Monty Beetham also with us as well. The NZRL, I'd like to thank its major sponsors to Pertec and Mainstream, CCI and Sky Sport. This is the trophy that is played regularly here in the South Island. Today is history in the making, though, in a way, because it's the first time that two fully fledged squads from Otago and Canterbury have done battle for 50 years. The last time this occurred was back in 1971. Since then, they've played reserves or B teams, but never the top sides been able to go head-to-head. Great to have you along here on Sky Sport. Canterbury last week lined up against the Southland squad. Southland played out of their skins and really were in touch until the last 10 minutes of the game, where they were down by 10. In the end, two late tries for Canterbury secured them a win by 20 points, and they certainly dispatched the West Coast with relative ease a couple of weeks ago. So for the Otago squad, Ricky Allen will be their captain today, and Ricky's got an interesting background too. The number 8, he is the captain, of course, of the New Zealand University squad, but he's also the president of the Otago Rugby League. And it's the first time we think that the president of a league region has actually turned out and played for the squad. And he's backed up by some good talent. Upanedu at the back comes with some good credentials. Worthington likewise. The coach of the Otago Whalers today is Dave Reedy.
David, how's the week of preparation been, travel included?
It's been pretty good this week. Pretty low key. The boys have been training for a while, so they know kind of their jobs by now. So it's more about working on connections and having a bit of fun this week. And travel was all good. Flew up this morning, so that was good. No long drives like usual, and fly home after the game.
What's been the biggest work on for your side this week?
Yeah, just that connection and just building a bit of, like, boys having a bit of fun together and just bonding a little bit more. And I was tried not to overcoach this week and just sit back and let the boys do their thing.
So how do you beat the undefeated Bulls?
Yeah, good question. Watched their performance last week. I imagine they won't be too pleased with that. There are a few spots that we've identified that we'll try and get to. So a male whale is actually a bull, and we're the whalers, so it's hunting season, I think, so the boys are ready to go.
Well, some pretty challenging corridor there from Dave Reedy. They'll know they'll be up against it, because this team's got a lot of really good talent as well. Sincere Haraway at the back, the co-captain today. He's been in exceptional form as well. Riley is a great distributor. And of course, you've got Tor Sepuloni as well as their halfback. Very experienced for a squad that should do well for coach Andrew Matangi.
Andrew, 2 from 2 wins. What has pleased you most about your side?
I guess for me, we've got a pretty young group, so the way the boys have come together, been pretty impressed with that, and really good connection, a good vibe across the group. So looking forward to today.
Otago were good with and without the ball last week. What's their strength?
Yeah, they've got a few strike players. I think particularly their left edge, centre and winger, pretty strong. Also Tama, their fullback, and Mackenzie in the halves. So a few strike weapons right across the team there.
How do you remain undefeated today?
I think for us, we were pretty disappointed in our start last week. Probably want to be more aggressive right from the whistle, and defensively have challenged the boys to get in front and really take it to Otago today. So hopefully they deliver.
So it's the Bulls against the Whalers, and as mentioned with us today, Lowly Monty Beetham, and this should be an interesting encounter. Wind behind Canterbury, Monty. The Whalers will have to really play top draw rugby league if they're going to get over their highly fancied opponents, the Savo.
Alole Sufo Manawea, a great day once again, and when you think about this Canterbury Bulls side, have got a point to prove already. When they run out, it looks like they've got that real fierce look in their mind in terms of wanting to be a bit physical in defence. We heard from the coach. I'm looking forward to the collisions early on, Dale.
Well, they got away to a great start when they lined up against the West Coast, but they didn't have it all their own way last week against Southland. Great to have you along here on Sky Sport as the action continues with live rugby league midway through October in what has been a challenging year for obvious reasons. And the first touch of the ball for the Whalers. They just need to settle themselves down early. They flew up from Dunedin today. And really for a region that now has just got really 4 clubs, I suppose, involved. Teams from Oamaru, and we've got some hearty men. A lot of them are actually guys studying down in Otago, and there's a lifting penalty. Mika Muffy, he's from South Pacific Raiders, first year at league. One of the older players in the team, though. He's actually played NPC for Southland as well, the big fella, and this time just in an awkward position. Referee Smallridge was right to penalise early on and get that one out of the game.
Well, Mika Muffy, he's a big man. You said he's new to the game, but I tell you what, he's a colossus in terms of the size and stature. So if people can run off him and he gets his arm free like that, I think they can have a lot of joy.
Tudu Ropati with us today, new to the Raiders. Actually played a little bit of footy up there in Auckland as well, the under-20s competition, as it comes back once again to Muffy, who's straight. And Dave Reddy says that they've been really enjoying their football. They faltered against Southland unexpectedly and suffered their first loss to that region in 5 years. But have come back. They had a whopping big victory last week against the Coastie boys as well. As we get to the back row up, Hagen Free. He takes the ball across. Otago has a very rich history actually in rugby league. It was started in 1924, but actually goes back more like to 1908. So in many ways, actually started as a rugby league region before Canterbury, and now with the ball, and they'll try to thread the needle, but Sepuluni has it there, and he covers up nicely. Cameron Todd, that's him there making the tackle. He's a live wire halfback as well, and a lot of responsibility on the young fella. Comes across the top to make the tackle.
Yeah, you mentioned live wire, he sure is, and he's like an old school half in terms that he gets up in your face, he talks to his players already, I've noticed that. But Mika Muffy, the big number 10, who's had a lot of things to do early on, backing up, and you see once again he makes a tackle. So Canterbury Bulls coming off their line first time with the ball, looking very effective.
Cameron Todd in his last year of doing a physiotherapy degree down there. He's actually played in the New Zealand development 16s and 18s as well. Hails from Hamilton, but like many, choosing Otago Uni as the spot for their studies. Tom Apanedu, and the second penalty coming here for Otago. Just want to settle their nerves early on. They're up against, well, what we thought to be about at least a 10-point wind coming in the back here on a Sunday afternoon behind the Canterbury Bulls. There's a great fight back in our first game between the Canterbury women and Wellington. And the Wellington women did very well to come back into the wind. And a draw. They had a chance to kick for victory right on the bell as we go into the bench here today for the Whalers.
So you have Mullets on that bench and Smiles as well, but Toy Sabloni with the floater early on. We mentioned the weather, the wind, and I think there's a big part of Toy's game, so if we can do that often already with Paneru missing their first opportunity, I think you could find a bit of joy from that as well.
Hagen Free's the co-captain today. That's in the back row. The ball has gone backwards. It will play on. Kiramasana Pauli there in the standoff position today for coach Matangi. His last year with this squad, that was a nice little ball as well. So Otago starting well. And down the right side, they come with an opportunity on the inside, which they capitalise with. And Apanedu goes gassing towards the line and scores. Momentum carries him across the chalk. What a start for the Otago Whalers.
Oh, there you go. He dropped the ball at one end of the field. He comes back down this end and he makes amends by scoring a great try. But I tell you what, it was the young halfback, Cameron Todd. You watch what he does with the ball in hand. He goes in and away. He draws in two defenders. Goes from an inside shoulder from one defender across to an outside. Here you go. By doing that, he sucked in two. So it was the centre that jumped in on him. Very good. Toe forward jumped in on him. And plenty of numbers in the picture. They stay alive. Pass inside, and also that man who started it all, Cameron Todd, was on the inside once again with his hand up. This is the work here. He skips across to the second defender, brings him in. Nice bit of work, yeah, a lot of work to do with the ball in hand is Samate Palu. But geez, Tama, Apineru, well done.
What a great start there. And Apineru, of course, he's been busy. His partner Dora actually runs the Vax clinic down there in Otipoti, Dunedin. They would have been busy yesterday as well. But Tama, no doubt there to help. If not, just do the dishes at home, make sure that she can get to work on time. He puts them over for the first try, plays with the South Pacific Raiders. And that conversion is good. You see from the skies that there's changeable conditions across the South Island, but big ups to the ground staff here at Ngā Punawai. They've had the field prepared extremely well over the last few weeks. And Apineru, be pleased to have got it underway there and got the scoring for the Whalers. Wouldn't it be an upset? I know we've got a long way to go here, but crikey, 5 minutes gone. 6-0, the Whalers lead the Bulls.
Coach David Reddy of the Otago Whalers had made mention they've worked on a few spots that they can identify. Maybe they did that early on in terms of what Cameron Todd was able to do, skip across 2 defenders and isolate one out.
One marker.
So Otago with possession once again.
Stand together. Move. Tackle 2.
Well, there's a willingness to cart and carry at the moment with the skipper, Ricky Allen, with another pulsating carry. Back it goes again for Todd. The drop off on the inside was smart as well for the Whalers, and Delaney McKenzie's to his feet. Willingness to get involved here with Hagan. Once again, free. Fifth tackle. And this referee likes to be very vocal in the way that he calls the game as well. Onto the boot this time. Mackenzie Hughes sends it high. A difficult take, but a class act at the back. And Sincere Haraway has put away a shunting defensive effort.
Yeah, great job from him taking the initial bomb, which was a spiral. Always difficult to take, especially in these conditions. But he was shot heavily. This time this penalty is going to really undo the good work that the Whalers have been able to do in the last sort of 5-minute period. It's been good from the Whalers, full of running, full of energy. If you think about Omatangi and what he wanted from his team to be, brutal defensively, stronger in collisions, that hasn't been the case so far.
Canterbury finally do get hold of the ball as we see a penalty. That's a good charging run as well from Ilalio. He's been good over the last couple of weeks. This compressed tournament format.
Tackle 1.
Cipollone. Carrier running into his own man there this time around.
Release. Oh. 2.
Cipollone is so experienced, manages to get the offload as well to Pinelli, and another penalty.
And then you're flopped. You're just slowing it down.
Right in front of the posts. I think they'll be wanting to utilise possession here from close range, and they do. Tully cuts it forward. Not far away now. Bulls with it. Poley, good little offload, and still alive here for Zion. Kemara.
Tackle 2.
2 gone. Can the Whalers hold out the Bulls here? Tully again with another run, and across the top and D is McKenzie. Looks like the back row up might be in a little bit of trouble there in the middle of the ruck. This is an offload out wide. Numbers have been dangerous down the right edge, this time stepping back in towards the traffic, and across the line goes Nole. And that's a good try as well from Canterbury. Well constructed and a good finish from the centre three-quarter.
Yeah, Joseph So'onalole, very good. He's very rangy, wide-running centre. Tell you what, when he cut back against the grain, it was very impressive. But there's a lot of ball movement. Troy Cipollone was a big part of this. There was a number of offloads and back and forth. This really stresses the defensive line. When you've got people waiting back, that line is staggered. And as a result, So'onalole was able to come back against the grain and just weave his magic through the line that was definitely not straight.
Well, he's in the army out there, Burnham as well. He's a rookie, so he's certainly put his hand up for attention here with the Bulls. They were disadvantaged as well, the defensive line, because the back row Hagen free was in some difficulty, and it's now a pretty straightforward conversion attempt. Of course, the Canterbury Bulls team sponsored by Anton Matthews and his Fish and Chip Shop. It's an interesting place where you can go and learn to know Māori while you get your fish and chips. But good to see him and supporting the local team as well. Here's another look at the work out wide from young Joseph. He had a lot of work to do when he received the football. But we're squared up at 6-all here now.
I'll blow it early, fellas. Time your run. Go with your kicker. Wait for him.
There's the restart. Taken nicely by Sepuloni. He's been such an integral part of the way that they play their footy. So reliable for Coach Al Matangi.
How to! Clear him! Have a look right side. Tackle 2.
It's another fine card of the football from Faiva, who's been good as well over the past fortnight. Through the hands they come. Out to Camara. He's lost the football though this time around. And it will be a scrum feed here for the Otago Whalers.
We just see what the side is capable of. You know, when they get the one shot, then we follow up with a big runners are going across the advantage line with a number of support players. This is what they're able to do. They've got some very good fleet-footed men in the middle. Big and strong. It was a nice show from Kamana. He tried to get through. Unfortunately, it was a loose carry at the end. And it lets them off the hook.
Down together. Don't come around 6. 2 hands to put the ball in. Hold there, don't
Live
go early.
Rugby League too.
Don't come around 7.
Big ups to the NZRLG. It's been difficult to organise the comp with the changing status in the various regions of our land. This is a fine run down the left edge as well. This is Tofatu Solia, and it took some work as well to get him. The young centre was there to make the tackle. Ropeti now charging forward and gets them into good field position. He wants to quick play the ball. That's duly delivered, I was about to say, but he certainly had some issues. As far as Zach Riley is concerned, also a New Zealand University's player in his own right, Zach.
Nice and low.
Mackenzie Hugh now for free.
Movement!
He too receives a thunderbolt 12 metres out from the try line. Big Mika Muffy once again. Well, he's happy to have a dig and finds himself only 5 metres out from the try line. The Whalers again asking some questions of the Canterbury D. The cutout ball is wide, and that's down the left edge. Skillful play, but deemed forward. And Solia looks up. Incredulous, thinks that he had it together, and the ref says, sorry for you.
What about on that edge in terms of the centre and the wing? You've got Solia and little Betsy. I think those two are dynamic on that side. It was a long ball, but it was this one here.
Hold that line, don't go early.
Yes, okay, marginally forward, but I tell you what, he had his winger, Ila Leo, no man's land. Both sides, it'll be on the right or on the left. Out there in the centres and the wing, the Otago Whalers side have got some very formidable runners.
Don't touch.
13 gone, and we're squared up at 1 try apiece. Carmona with the play the ball down the left edge, trying to create an opportunity here.
Play on.
This is Charlie. He's a rookie too out of the Hornby squad for this season. A little bit tangled up. Look, he's under him.
He's injured. He got twisted.
Worried about this little fella.
Time off. Just take your time,
Well, you like to see a halfback that gets amongst it right and doesn't play in a dinner suit. Cameron Todd, he's been everywhere. Got him low, he refused to let go. Then there was numbers in there trying to bring him down. Charlie's a big man. No malice in that. No malice at all. I think it was Cameron Todd who didn't even have sight of the other people coming over the top and going over him. Just making sure that Charlie is all right. We've seen him score a number of tries for this side. Very good runner. Let's hope he'll be able to partake further.
Well, there's always concern, isn't there, when we watch at home, off in the commentary position, and see guys twisted in such a way. Let's hope that the damage is not extensive. But at the moment, quite obviously, a lot of discomfort, the winger. Let's see. A knee or thigh injury. Just seeing, oh, there we go. That's encouraging. Well, they've got a few physiotherapy guys in the opposing team that can probably come in and do a bit of early work. And Charlie to his feet. And that's good to see as well.
Back out to the wing. He's fine. He's a big boy. So they can't run without their legs.
The first time the teams have met in 5 decades, that wouldn't have been lost on the Otago boys as they travelled north this morning. And a chance to make some history.
We know there's Sky Sport national competition, the Southern Zone that these guys are playing for, but today it's a South Island Premier competition, which means it's Otago versus the Canterbury Bulls. And as you mentioned, it's the first time for 50 years that they've played in the top teams. Otago is currently a holder of the cup.
Hands away! Another metre.
So, Palu plays the ball. Been very impressed with the way the big men are working at the moment. Here's their skipper, Allen.
Go line!
Ricky Allen from varsity, teaches English at John McGlashan High School, a highly regarded community man.
On 3.
And he leads by example here for the Whalers today. Short ball and free comes close. Unfortunately for him though, the wall of Canterbury defence was ready for his charge. Can they keep out Muffy this time again? Mika, he backs his way towards the line but comes up just a few millimetres short.
On 5, Happy.
No, with the cutout ball, it's been touched here by Canterbury, and so it will be a Whalers scrum feed from close to the line, pressure maintained.
Well, I'm happy they get another shot at it, because I tell you what, with the centres and the wingers that this Whalers side have got, it's a travesty when they don't get the ball at all in the sets. There's about 3 or 4 plays right up in the middle, probably one play too many. At time we saw Canterbury coming up just to snuff it out.
Don't give them anything, Otago. Otago,
scored.
don't give it to them, come on.
The only
Take
try
2
for
metres.
Canterbury today.
Yeah, the mark's here.
Well, if Canterbury thought that they were in for an easy run, they certainly
On that
won't
line.
be now. A
Don't go
quarter
early.
of an hour into the
Heads on
game.
13s. Lock it all up for me.
They're packing it down here and pressed like you. Munster with the play here of Cameron Todd. He's a wily little character. Just the sort of halfback that is needed in these trying circumstances. The angled run across from Delaney McKenzie is another threatening example of what the Bulls are up against this afternoon. To the back, the try scorer, Apinedu. He's over one, spins towards the line cleverly, but comes up just half a metre short. He'll want to quick play the ball. That's duly delivered. Along the line they go. This time it's Ben Worthington who has it, but he's muscled in the defensive work of Dofa. Out the back they come. Are willing to give it some space to, and then the drill into the end goal. The bounce is smooth and the pickup smart for Ropeti. Try number 2, Whalers.
Big smiles from the big centre, Ropeti. Like I said, you've got to give this man the ball. That time he was able to get on the back of a kick by his young half in Cameron Todd. Some nice work. Normally you think ball in the hand where he can just be destructive at the line, but this time he had that line that he could have run to receive the ball. He carried along that same line coming through as Cameron Todd decided to put boot to ball. Very well way to kick. It's a nice try. Geez, we've got a game on our hands.
Geez, that's some smart play from Cameron Todd, isn't it? And he's full of confidence. They're loving their footy at the moment, these guys. It's interesting to hear the coach, Dave Reedy, who's been coaching the Whalers for a number of years. He was a long-time player for them as well. He's on the board and he's coached lots of junior teams as well. And Reedy says, I just wanted them to enjoy themselves this week. They've been mixing together and getting the combo, getting the smiles, enjoying each other's company. That's what it's all about as well. The coach also works as a community support worker and at the vaccination clinics down there in Dunedin, and is the assistant coach of the South Island 20s as well this year, Dave Reedy. But he'll be pretty pleased in the stands at the moment with the way his team have started. So looking for the extras here. Well, it could have been better. Wasn't so far away from the missed conversion at the back end of the women's game as well. scoreline to stand at 10-6. Let's get another look at it and prepare to have a go. The ball bounces up beautifully like a Christmas present there for the hard charging Ropeti.
And that's where I go all day, out to that left edge, just the shape they have and the options they have out there with the, you know, the big running centre and wing, Ropeti, Sulia, but also having that half on his favourite side, which is the left, and what he can do. He's popped up on both though.
And the wind has picked that one up, so that's a good result for the Whalers as well. As mentioned, you've got the South Pacific Raiders, the varsity squad feature there as well. There's a squad out of Wambaru, but they ran a semi-spring competition at the end of the rugby season down in Otago. And that one scoots over the fence, but it's a penalty right in the middle. Quarter game time just looming.
Yeah, that just shows you how much wind is there right at the back of the ball. So if they aren't able to get back in front, Otago with a handy lead, but also with a breeze which they'll get in the second half, that's probably worth some points as well.
Well, Muffy, oldest in the team, but his contribution already has been significant. You lay the platform for the wide and ambitious play through the middle, and Ricky Allen acknowledges that with another powerful props carry. 15 from the line, it's Todd again. Benny Worthington this time with the ball in his second year, playing for the Whalers. The back rower, now the cutout ball. It was a little bit risky, but he comes charging again, Ropeti. And Sepoloni is the only defender between him and try number 2.
Yeah, Justice Onoroli, I'm not too sure what he's doing. He's been out of position a number of times. I think that time when if you had another second look back at it, you realise probably a little bit selfish in his decision.
Mackenzie Hugh launches it up high. The tap back, look at the take. Oh, that's clever, and that is a great result as well. Jake Fowler for the Whalers makes it 3.
Oh, look at them. They're happy. There's Chahu's galore. This Otago side. Jake Fowler, he still hasn't stopped smiling. But that's the thing, right? They've had a couple of opportunities, and they just transition well. If they miss out on an opportunity, they look for the next, and they just keep soldiering on, and that's just been the way today for the Otago side.
Just want to acknowledge Melanie Gitel, who's managing the squad today. Sort of found herself in the role unexpectedly, but when I was having a yarn with her about the squad, she says keep an eye out for Jake Fowler. He's very effective off the bench, but this is fine work. The take was superb as well, out wide there by Delaney McKenzie. The pop ball back on the inside to Fowler, who she describes as the man that in the team with the fizz, and he's got an infectious personality, and they love playing with him, the way that he enjoys being in the squad. And this time around, the recipient of a fine piece of high work from Mackenzie. And wow, Canterbury will be a little rocked by this start as we look at 3 tries in quick succession here for the visitors from Otago. Now that's one that really should have been made, and he'll be disappointed by the attempt. Mackenzie Hawke. Number 15 coming on, that's Champ Beetham.
We saw last time out when we were on Sky Sport how destructive he was from the bench. That's probably a good move from their part. They really need to get back into this game. He's Joseph Onoroli on the right edge, coming up with some crazy decisions. Just needs to be a little bit more patient. Be a bit more passive in defence and tie in with either his inside and his outside.
Sincere Haraway a little more cautious in his work.
Stand together!
And the kicking tee on halfway this time around. Muffy settles it up for a conservative run first up. Kamana, brutal defence across the top from him. Sulia to his feet, but wasn't allowed to get there quick enough. And although he argues the toss eye on Kamana, the referee is pretty adamant and very vocal as well in the way he controls proceedings. Referee Smallridge. No spring chicken, the ref. He's been around a bit by the looks of things, and he likes to take good
Excellent,
control
fellas, behind it.
with whistle
Behind it.
and with voice.
Wait for
Go
the
back
foot.
to these strong runs. Ball carriers are really making a dent in that defensive line, so that means that these guys are trying to hold on or hold them down a little bit longer to slow
Get
down
up,
the ruck,
up.
and by doing that, they're getting the penalty. Enthusiasm and trying to play that ball fast is good, but they're over-enthusiastic at that time,
Scrum in 20.
not having position, full control of the ball, you lose that opportunity lost.
Up and in, a bit dark on himself. He wanted some intervention from the touch judge. That wasn't forthcoming.
Just make sure you square it, marker. I was watching you. Yeah, but you were bludging in there. He pushed you to get you out of there. Yeah. Use my touchies, fellas.
And
Don't
no
go
bludging,
early.
Zion. All right, you heard the ref.
13s. Stay around 6. 2 hands to put in. Yeah, wait for the errand. Ball in. 2 hands. Out!
So Foley feeds the scrum. Taken off the back by Zach Riley. It was the ball distributor Riley. Talented,
Hold there.
fast,
Tackle one.
insightful too.
Release!
Anticipates his
One
runners
marker. Stay out 3.
on each side. Now looks for the big men to shore up the attack in this set. This is for Eva once again. Riley a couple of steps before popping it to Beetham, and he has been dangerous over the past couple of weeks.
And push people out of the way. Just stay out of it. You were like you were in a marker and then you get in the way.
Jake Fowler a little bit over anxious. Faber once again.
Work it.
They've got themselves well set here, Canterbury, and they are a force to be reckoned with from close range. And the Whalers know that they're up against a formidable foe here. Through the arms they come, and it's Sepuloni. He waits to pass. Back on the inside, Sepuloni awaits the return ball, but it doesn't come. And to ground goes Kyle Amer.
One marker. Stay out 6.
Back rower carries it in, Pinelli, but he can't get through. Fowler is the tackler. Bulls, dangerous. Poley, and then with an open line, Carmona couldn't control it, and it's Jumpanetu that comes up with the ball.
Oh, wow. Carmona, he is not happy.
You're working the arm.
And Otago's having their way in what they're doing, really controlling this game. You get an opportunity to get your group back on the board and get the energy levels boosted up a little bit more. You get the opportunity. Here it is in Kamana. That was a great ball as well. Unforced error. A man who would know better.
It was a good pass, but I'm not sure that Kamana was quite prepared for the way it would be delivered.
Hold there, here it is.
Normally, he's got pretty good hands, Zion. So the Whalers, out they come. They're going to harpoon the Bulls here this afternoon. And the Bulls part of town. The back rower pushes forward free. Quick play the ball. Down the left side they come. A drop off on the inside. And it's Muffy. Slips this time, the big man. Now to his feet. In comes Fowler. Says, I'll have a go as well. And Carmona goes across the top with big defensive efforts downstairs from Pinelli. Still they come. Wave after wave of Whalers this time around. And it's Hagen free. Getting them into good field position. Todd down the right edge, puts it up towards the end goal where Haraway awaits the ball, and Todd thinks of scragging him back over into his end goal, but Haraway to his feet. One thing we do know about Sincere, the co-captain here of the Bulls, is that he can turn a game on a dime, and even though he might be somewhat placid through the first half, it looked like he's not getting involved as much as we might expect. We've seen him in the second half come alive and light up the field and the scoreboard. And Fowler again concedes a penalty. That might be something in his game that he wants to work on. He's been caught out a couple of times already, and it's cost his squad plenty of meterage.
There you go. It's that run here by Charlie. Probably wasn't his ball to get, but in terms of what he wanted to do with such intent, he made the difference. Catching them giving away that penalty just releases the pressure on his side, and you see another charge now. This side, Tafua, is showing what they're worth in terms of they are a very good running side. The ball in hand, if you're pushing that time Champ Beetham pushing up with Armour. He's another good play himself, Cole.
Kyle
Marker, stay out.
top MVP points last year for Linwood. Actually, he's had some experience with the Rabbitohs. Here's Sincere Haraway. He is a man that needs to be watched. He spins, jinks, turns. He's got every trick in the book as well, Sincere. To his feet finally. And now it's on to Beetham. He is powerful.
Hands away.
This time denied, but only just. And that's from out of dummy half. Lost over the line as well by Jordan Campbell, who had a dart towards the line. And the referee was well positioned. He says, no go, Joe.
Yeah, he's great when he comes on off the bench in the dummy half. He loves to run, he loves to snipe, and he's full of energy. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to control that ball and get that ball down in a time where his team needed it. Balls, he knocked it on short of the line. Yeah, I think it was a hand in the tackle. You've got to be there. You've got to be in the picture to make a difference. And that time, plenty of whalers there to undo the good work.
Originally a coastie. Jordan Campbell now playing for the Hornby Club out of Christchurch. So very important that they control this set of six. Delaney McKenzie with the ball, a big centre. Kamana again getting involved. Campbell as well, helping out with the defensive efforts on Mackenzie Hall. Nice carry from Cameron Graham. Spud, they call him. Also from the West Coast, he's from Greymouth. Spud.
Kyle Amer in the middle of the ruck as he's trying to play that ball fast. Very good work from the Whalers. They're in all good spirits. It's good play the ball.
Thomas McKenzie from the little settlement of Edendale. He played South Island Scorpions through the 16s and 18s as well. Big business at Otago Uni. And he's a young guy who enjoys his footy, the camaraderie that exists within contact sport codes. There just seems a willingness to cart and carry as McKenzie again. And three. And Hales from Balclutha, a little breakaway here from Muffy again. Gee, he's been good. Look at him going, legs pumping. 10 metres out from the try line. Can the Whalers do another one unexpectedly? And underneath, it's finished off beautifully by Tonga No. Oh, what a great play. Made his debut last week against the West Coast. And he played so well, they put him in the starting spot.
Oh, how good. He knew he was going to follow his big man going forward. He's been good today. His distribution out of dummy half, coming across field, bringing his forwards onto the ball. He realised he missed the jump, but he jumped on it straight away and showed his speed. He stayed nice and relaxed. He knew that there were markers down, so he was always going to have a little bit of a snipe. He used that strength to get a few off, got across the line. Tonga No, very good play.
Smart play from him, and of course, as you say, Monty, built on the work of Mika Muffy, who's actually been laying the platform in the best possible way here for the Whalers. That's try number 4. And now Mackenzie Hall has the chance to add to the tally. He's already had 3 attempts and just successful with 1. Should have got the one from close range last time. Hit the iron. Let's have a look and see if he can add the extras here. Actually played for Andrew Almatangi one stage of his footy career, Mackenzie. He's from the South Pacific Raiders now, but he did play for Linwood. And even that way you can see the wind that is at the back here for the Canterbury Bulls. It's very difficult to negotiate for those with conversions, penalties and the like. 18-6, who would have thought?
Not me. Even the Bulls coming back, they're not exactly rushing to get this one off. 7 minutes left to play. What can they do? Try and dig back this deficit.
First time in 50 years, and what a start it's been for the Whalers. Almatangi will be pretty haw-ha with his mob. Here comes Fowler.
Lock it in together. Don't go early.
Calling for a knock-on. Referee. As you guys get on with the footy, I'll get on with the whistle. He says it's okay by me as Palu. Goes to ground, a little inconvenienced by the way that the tackle occurred. This is the back rower again, free. Yes, impressive play here from Tongano. And here is a turnover. Not what the Whalers needed. 0 tackle. 15 metres out. The Bulls have a chance to get one back. Phil Nutty with it. Campbell. Aimer. Well, he aims up, but he couldn't get there. And who's that across the top? You better believe it. It's young Cameron Todd again. They'll be doing extremely well if they're able to hold out, and they can't. Stepping back on the inside with a fine try. And it is the Canterbury Bulls through Charlie. Who's recovered from his knee injury and scores down the left edge.
Yeah, Paulie, nice play down the left edge. Great pass out. There's a bit of work to do, actually. Stuff for. Some nice stuff against his opposition. They come down the left here. Bowley, long ball to four. Drawing pass. Charlie stepped in off the left. Came around a little bit closer to get that ball down so that the kick's a little bit easier. As he's seen, there hasn't been a lot of successful kicks. That could be the difference today.
First year in, and he's done enough to impress as well along the way over the past few weeks. Just over 5 to play here. 18-10 scoreline and a chance to shorten that one up as well. Tuamoana Sepuloni, one of the older members of the team, one of the most experienced. He's got a deft hand as well, good kicking game. He knows when to carry, when to pass. And of course he's not a slightly built halfback, so that takes some combating as well for those working around the ruck. Consider the difference between his physique and Cameron Todd's, and the conversion was superb, read the wind with accuracy. And so the Bulls keep themselves well in the game here. There's another look at Poley's pass. Good push on as well, and Charlie's able to improve the opportunity for his man off the tee.
And by doing that, Sepuloni was able to convert that try. So, you know, it makes a huge difference going into the break, only being 6 behind if that's the case, or being 8 points. I think there'll be a difference in terms of the halftime talk you get from the coach. So as a player, you always feel a little bit better when you're only just one try, even being converted try in it, as opposed to having to score twice.
Here's the restart from the Whalers. They won't want to undo the fine work that they've done here in the first 40. Pleased to have you here on Sky Sport. And here he comes again. Champ Beetham, and the offload here onto the darting feet of Poley. Great return from the Bulls. The Whalers under the pump here as there's plenty of attitude and carry, plenty of willingness as well from these Bulls. Zilo Leo gets up to play the ball. In comes Delaney Luke. He's big and powerful, gets them onto the 30-metre line, where Sopoloni sends it back on the inside for Sonolole. Really applying the pressure here at the moment. Ton of attack, Haraway. Wrestled to ground by the gutsy Cameron Todd. It's the 5th and final tackle through Poley onto Sepuloni. He gets to the line, chipping to the end goal, too heavy. My word, it is the Whalers restart on their 20.
Well, just in that last set, the Bulls remind you how potent they can be with the ball in hand. Champ Beetham started all off. His footwork, beating number of players. He started the incision through the defensive line of the Whalers. Now the Whalers do well just to complete the set and finish it off and go into the break with the lead the best they can. Be finishing this off and then also one in defence.
Palu and Solia doing fine wing work. Doing it through the middle up in Edu. He scored the first try in the first half. The first of 4 tries to 2. And this man has been hugely influential in the go forward for the Whalers. Back to Ho, who kicks the ball downfield. Bounces up nicely for Haraway. He's taken. wanting the Whalers defenders to roll away quickly. Haraway plays the ball down the left edge, trying to see if there's something there. Mucky Muffy's been my standout for this first half effort. And that's a knock on. Wasn't the Whalers' fault. A high five as well. And now they'll get the last roll of the dice before the half-time hooter.
They'll get a full set of 6 now to throw the dice and see what they have. There'll be a number of chances to throw that dice and have a real go. As we mentioned before, there's threats on either edge. There's threats through the middle. I hope they don't just try and do 2-1 out the middle. They've got a couple of backdoor options off the like of Murphy. I think they can really work this defence around and cause some havoc.
Lock it all up for me, fellas. Don't come around.
So the last minute of play in this intriguing battle. It, as you know, is the first time that they've lined up against each other in 5 decades. Here's Apanedu. Tries to spin his way through, but can't get through. Tackle number 1. What have the Whalers got? Out of dummy half. Trying to weave his way through. Look at this. Ducking and diving, scheming and skiving the standoff this time around. That's to Apanedu. Wing comes in, says, let me have a go too, coach. Solia takes it to ground. Just a few moments before the hooter sounds. Not too many more opportunities. Here he is again, the Mountain Muffy. 12 out from the line. Otago. Here's Todd. Todd wants to create something. Apanedu is there. He knows he's got to let it go. Todd's there as well. And he puts the kick up. I'm not quite sure if it's a drop goal or what he was going for, but it doesn't matter too much because the curtain comes down on the first 40.
Yeah, it's definitely a drop goal. He was going for a drop goal.
And what we have witnessed has been something of a wonderful production, especially if you're from the Otago Whalers. Yes, there's a long way to go, but these two teams going at it for the first time in 5 decades are having a whale of a time, and I hope you are too this arvo, watching Sky Sports National Competition. At the break, 18-12 Whalers lead the Bulls. It's great to have your company here this afternoon. Sky Sport pleased to be able to bring you the action as well from Punawai Stadium, where Otago is leading Canterbury 18-12. Now they've turned around, the wind is at their back. Are we about to see an upset of monumental proportions? It's been 5 decades since the two teams have played. The last time that they turned out against each other, it was Canterbury who beat the boys from Otago 84 points to 5. So this has been a massive first half effort. Long way to go. The Whalers and the Bulls, and it's part of the Sky Sport National Competition. Pleased to have you with us. Dale Husband at home beside me. A good mate as well, lovely Monty Beetham. Monty, as we start the second half, just to acknowledge the passing of one of our giants of New Zealand Rugby League.
Yep, Ray Cranch, he was the oldest members of our New Zealand Rugby League Kiwis in terms of brothers, 98 years of age. He passed through the ranks. Peter Leach gave us a message out, and Dean Bell was there, and Dean Bell wanted to say, geez, that's the oldest of our brothers gone now. So a huge mention and mihi out to him and everyone involved with him. He was a wonderful man who did wonderful things for this country in the great game of rugby league.
Served Montecasino and also was in the 1951-52 New Zealand squad, and he's been laid to rest, understandably, the situation. Sees that he won't have the service due him, but there's some talk of a memorial gathering for him early next year. Moi mai te rangatira, hariki o tātou tupuna, haere. Ray Cranch, gone at 98. He would have enjoyed this game this afternoon. He loved local rugby league, Ray. And he'll be sorely missed by the ex-Kiwis Association as well, of which he was a regular attendee. 18-12 is the scoreline. This talented live wire halfback looks up again. It's great having little halves like Cameron Todd in your squad as they decide to try something a little bit different and change the angle for Mackenzie Ho. He's now to his feet. Some nice work from Tonga No. Scored a beautiful try as well, shadowing in the work of Mika Murphy. Angling back onto the inside again. This is Jake Fowler. Certainly a willingness to get involved. What's the wind at? Is it 4? Is it 6? Could it be 10? It's certainly a stiff breeze behind the Whalers. It wasn't utilised as well as it might have been by the Bulls in the first 40. Solia now with the ball. Solia played a few games in 7s for Samoa, did Solia. And here's Todd again, trying his magic. The ball's taken in the end goal. The Whalers will get a repeat set.
Oh, that's a great set. Great end to the set as well. I love how we see both Todd and Holt jumping up on both sides of the ruck and sometimes combining, sometimes having their own play down a short side. It's a very well run side in terms of being coached. I think David Reedy has done a fine job before the game. They mentioned they've had some spots. They've got some strategy coming into this. And it's been a wonderful game to watch. Less fancied Whalers ahead by 6 points at the moment.
There he is, the building block of their attack so far in the game, Nika Muffy. He's showing all his experience, the oldest member of the Whalers team. This is McKenzie. No. Fowler. He's not the biggest man, but he's got a big heart. There's no doubt about that. Jake Fowler. And he's at close range now. Here's a good chance for Cameron Todd. Holds up the ball. He runs himself down and then goes to ground. He pulled out. Takes offence to the ref's assertion that he'd gone behind.
Yeah, interesting to see. We mentioned they come out to the right. We're having a look. I don't think they actually crossed paths. He actually stayed there. So we've seen there have been plenty of time in or out.
It's got a little bit entangled with Cam Graham on his running lines. Here's Carmona. This is a nice carry for the second rower. Across the top comes Hagan Free, the co-captain. He's a builder as well, plays for the Kyoto Tigers. Hagan is quite an integral part of this Whalers outfit. Champ Beetham has had some telling carries as well when he has the ball. Now trying to create something out wide is the try scorer from that first half. First try scorer for Canterbury. Soldier. Sutanalole. Sepalonia Murphy. They get entangled. That ball's gone down, but it's gone backwards. So it will be retrieved and touched by the Whalers. So Haraway gets hold of the ball. This is danger time here for Carmona. And he tries to pop the pass. We've seen him do that a couple of times. And now the runaway effort down the right-hand side going towards touch. But plenty strong as Palu. He stays in the field of play. He gets a rush of blood from time to time, Zion Carmona. He's inclined, if he gets through the gap, to want to pop that pass. It's come undone a few times over the past few weeks.
Yeah, it has, but I also look at the chase back from Cameron Todd and some of the other Whalers getting into the picture, making sure that they come back, showing how much they want to win and compete. And I think that's been the difference so far, been out enthusing this Bull side, and that's for sure. Both sides are very similar in terms of the weapons they've got across the park, but in what you do with the ball in hand in your house in particular, and that is another
beautiful
show of
ball
play.
from Mackenzie Hoare, and this is Muffy over the line. We might get another look at it, but the referee's quick to say that he doesn't think the ball got to ground. Muffy gets up disappointed. Might have another little look at that, but the referee doesn't have the benefit of replays or screens to look at. But Muffy certainly came up looking perplexed and disappointed. It might not be too late for the Whalers attacking here as well. This is the fifth and final tackle now. Can Otago put another notch on the headboard, if I could use that term? Might not be so appropriate. Here we go towards the line. It comes up empty-handed.
Oh, disappointing into the set. I tell you what, though, both halves, though, they've been outstanding today. Todd and Ho, and what they've been able to do. They've linked up on the same side of the field. They've run their own short sides. They've run over the lines. They've brought their forwards onto the ball. They've been full of energy. Been very good today for this side.
Well, they'll now have to work hard. The Whalers, they might be disappointed at the fact that Muffy was denied. They may have thought that he got that ball down. That doesn't matter now. Well, it's getting a little torrid in there. You can understand it too, because frustration's big. There were 2 in the tackle. Cameron Todd, well, it was just too alluring for him. And he wanted to get hold of the leather. He's got his arm in there behind Beetham. I've been very impressed by his abilities, Champ Beetham.
He's had some very good carries and carries that have made a difference for his side in particular parts of the game, changing the momentum and helping side compete today. He's been very good, Champ Beetham. Good on his feet, very strong, very well balanced for a big man.
7 gone, still no change to the scoreline. The pass then forward. So as the pressure mounts, mistakes are made. He's a big burly man as well. He's put on some good work out wide, Diane McKenzie.
Hasn't he? Here we go. He meant to hit that ball, but you know, it was potentially a penalty. That's how far forward it was. A pass from Campbell. You know, just let the pressure off the hook as you see a little couple young aspiring ball players, perhaps.
Couple of cards, if you ask me.
Of course.
They do a great job, Al. Young fellas. Amazing how many of them turn out to be top flight footballers. They're interested as kids. They play through their junior ranks. End up being top level players as well. Ever a ball boy, Monty?
Manukau County's Dolphins, which were the heroes, Fitutara and Haitro Okosini and some of those boys.
And you were their ball boy. Well, that was a remarkable team too. If you listed the players in there, people's eyes would roll. But big ups to the players of yesteryear who remember County's Manukau heroes. They were indeed a crack outfit. It's nice to mention Fetu Taiwa as well. I hope you're watching today, Fetu. And he's still proud of the way that his career developed out of the South Island. As we see once again, this gutsy effort coming together here. Spinning and bouncing at the moment is Tama Apanedu. Well, the Bulls know they're in a tussle here. Here comes Tommy McKenzie for the line, and Thomas McKenzie lights up the stage. What a run from McKenzie.
Oh, he's a good player, hasn't he? Whether it be in yardage or even having a little bit of X factor with the ball in the hand. He's a big strapping lad. He had a bit of work to do to score that try, and score it he did. Beautiful. So I love how they play a short side very well. Tonganau, he came in nice and easy. It was the show, 2-hand carry. The show, the little drop of the shoulder, just to look like potentially he was going to pass, but it was enough at top speed to keep running and come back infield and score a try. He's been good today, but I think this is the side where they need to go quite often. Joseph So'onarole, he gets caught out a number of times. He's very aggressive. He always jumps in, and I think he's having a lot of trouble trying to make decisions, whether it be just him or some of the people in and around him not being able to talk to him. But they're definitely not on the same page out here on the right edge for the Canterbury Bulls.
Well, they call him T-Mac, Thomas McKenzie, and wasn't that a wonderful run from him? He too plays for the varsity club as well, as mentioned, from Edendale. And for anyone who's played footy with red-haired blokes, they are always feisty, always give it their all. And, you know, I can't say I've seen too many red-haired blokes more red-headed than Tom McKenzie. Good on you, T-Mac. Is it going? Is it going? You better believe it's going. Oh, smooth as silk this time off the tee. And there he is. Now, if you're thinking that's died here, I'd challenge you.
Brad Myers comes to mind, trying to sort of compete with that same sort of shade of red. I'll tell you what, but both strapping second rowers who play well. Brad Myers played for Australia, Brisbane Broncos. He was a very fine player back in the day. When we talk about redheads, me trying to remember the ones that I played against.
You get good attitudes in sport as well. Like I say, they give their all. And that's what you want as a teammate. So T-Mac clears them away just a little bit more. Well, as I mentioned at the start of the second half, 84-5 was the last time these two fully fledged squads lined up 50 years ago.
Movement! 3,
Down the right edge we come this time around. Mackenzie Hoare has been clever in his work today. And put the commentator's mocker on because it rolls too deep this time around. Just needed to be a little bit lighter. Enjoying the work of referee Smorridge as well. He's been, as I say, vocal, enthusiastic, respectful. This guy's had a whale of a game. Gee, he's been good too. I loved his attitude today. Mika Muffy really led by example as well. So the Bulls now just getting a little bit frustrated, you'd have to think. 12 minutes gone into the second half, out of dummy half, trying to peel away the meters here this time around. Jordan Campbell, he's the ground. They'll try their opportunities down the right flank. There's T-Mac with another good defensive effort. 17 today, Kyle Amar. Fava.
Work it middle.
It's gone down, and so that'll be play on here. Across field, he comes. This is a solid run.
Five.
All right, Tully in 19, the kick into the end goal, which is taken cleverly as well at the back by Tufatu Solia.
20 metre. Wait for my whistle. From middle. Wait for it.
Tap and go. Through the middle, aims up on deep.
0.
No way through. Right side play, steady here. That's what's needed. In the attacking race, this time it's Palu who comes in from the right wing. Smart footy on show here as Ropeti carries it forward. Troy Anstis, Hoare, T-Mac, nice ball. Solia close to the line, but clever to stay in the field of play.
You're there.
Fowler.
On 4! Stand! Just stand, don't milk it. Hold.
Fowler gets up and plays the ball. They get away to the kick early on. That's what they try, and it is a big midfield bomb. Who is going at it? No one's going at it at the moment, but I tell you who does go at it. It's your winger down the right edge, Palu, and I think he scored.
Samate Palu, what a try. He tried to put up the spiral bomb.
Knock on and go.
As we're just seeing if it's a knock-on and goal or, in fact, a try, but it was Mone Samate Palu who they're trying to find out.
I've got a knock on 20 metre, or I've got a penalty for in front of the kicker. Penalty up here, 10 metres out, yeah, for offside in front of the kicker. Well, you got a 20 metre restart for a knock on.
So it's no try.
Yeah.
20 metre restart. That's what they take as we have another
Take
look
your
at
20,
it right now.
Good call.
Oh yes, it's a great call. Really on the spot. You don't have the benefit
in front of the kicker as well.
The replays, the referees. It's a great call. On the money, getting that one right. They're going right. I think they need to come left though when they've got the ball in hand. All sorts of trouble on the right side in terms of defensively. No one's on song.
Well, that could be a very telling moment in the game and in its outcome. There's a long way to go here, of course. But had they scooted away to another try, you might have been looking at a 28-12 scoreline, and that might have been a little bit much to claw back. But certainly now, if they can score soon, then the Canterbury Bulls can maintain the intention of going all the way.
On 4!
Coming away with these 2 points in the championship. But that has been a little bit juggled and a mistake, quite obviously, so it will be the Whalers. Now remember, they've got a 10-point win minimum, I guess, behind them as we get another look at the terrific servant of the game, Andrew Matangi. He was disappointed with last week's hit out against Southland. And perhaps after the whopping victory across the West Coast, Monty, they might have just been a little bit complacent. He would have expected a better showing this week, but we must also give credit to the Otago Whalers and the attitude they've carried into the match.
Yes, for sure, but when you look at this Bulls side and what they're capable of, it's a very well coached side. They've got Tomoana Sepuloni, they've got a lot of people in and around that can help them through game management to make the right decisions. They don't need to push the pace or panic too much. They've got very strong runners. They've got good players across the board. They can get into this match. And as you mentioned, it only takes one try to just to lift the spirits and bring them back in. And if that man Cameron Todd isn't able to stay on the field, that could hurt the chances of the Swallow side. A bit of a knock on his leg.
It's either a knock or a cramp as well. And you would forgive the guys for suffering some cramp as the ball back on the inside was smart. I've been hugely impressed with Delaney McKenzie. He's been absolutely great. He too is a builder, and he's really been laying the foundations for what could be a monumental victory here. Big ups to our viewers on Sky Sport and Belclutha today. You'll be proud of your man. He's put in a real effort. So has this man as well. Troy Anstis with us this time. He's from Central Otago. He's played up through the Otago 15, 17s, 19s sort of scene. And he's soon to qualify, Troy, in 14, as we see the kick into the end goal again is smart. Here's Sincere Haraway. Again, a reminder, he's a thinking footballer, isn't he?
That could make a huge difference in this game. So too is that run off the back of that tackle. You think about just a tackle ago, they had the opportunity to get them in for the back-to-back set, but just like that, Haraway, and then the second round on top of that, they're in a good position now to really get a penalty perhaps. They're really stressing that line.
I think he might need to inject himself more into the game since the Haraway.
That's the penalty I was talking about. It all started from Haraway, stopping what was an opportunity to get stuck and have a repeat set. Got on the front foot. Now they're really capitalising here, the Bulls.
Front on D there by Anstis. And I think he injured himself in his attempt. He was brave on the defensive work. But he might have suffered an injury here. He's about to graduate actually with a Bachelor of Applied Science, and sports analytics is his area of speciality. Troy Anstis, but when he looks at his defensive technique, he may have cause to reconsider the next time he gets that opportunity. So Sepuloni finds Haraway. He is a danger man, dangerous as, and Haraway is into strong. Could this be the start of the comeback? He's the man who needs some watching. He is superb, very skillful, and as mentioned, he was the star in the Hornby effort for 2021. Hornby won the championship in Christchurch.
Yeah, just remember moments ago that he stopped it down the other end. He was able to get into the field of play, and then he finishes it out on this end, which is outstanding. But go back to the run from So'onolole in terms of getting the defenders and sucking them in. There was two defenders there, so it was a great pass and choice from Toi Sepuloni to go back door with Haraway on that overs line. That's great work from all three of them. We mentioned that this team don't need to panic. Got plenty of tries in them, plenty of points. And this man can, get them around the paddock and get what they need out of this game and games management.
He was always the danger man. He's been relatively quiet, but we've seen him before turn up the heat just sort of later in the second half. We mentioned he needs to get his hands on the ball more. And when he does, you can see what happens. So here's Sepuloni. And he too has no friends in the wind this afternoon off the kicking tee.
Tough kick. You watch him go to line, ball in two hands. It was that big run from So'onolole that really held up two defenders. So when he runs on this overline, and Haraway, who was a hero down the other end, just getting into the field of play, scores this try. Got a feeling we're going to be mentioning his name a few more times before the end of this day, before the game is out.
Well, we were all conscious of the way he contorted his body to get back into the field of play. So could that be a turning point, both physically and in the context of the game? It's beautifully done to get out in the field of play. Otherwise, they were looking at back-to-back sets, and here we can see a change of momentum. as a mistake is made by the standoff. Mackenzie Hoare, I should say, has had a fine game, but here you go. The wind just picks it up.
Try to keep it low as well. It was the wind that got a hold of it. That was quite low.
Wait for it.
Bulls with another chance. Gifted 50 metres.
Movement!
Faiva now with the ball. This will really test the defensive qualities of the Whalers. Sepuloni will get himself involved more. This time it is Nati Phillip who continues to contribute through the middle of the park. That passes forward, way forward.
Wow,
you'd have to think.
Forward.
Zach
Hands
Riley,
away.
the ref didn't call it. The Whalers shake their head in disbelief. Down the left edge they come. And here he is again. Haraway burrows his way through tackles. This is tackle number 4. They can ill afford to concede another try here, Otago. They must be sure and steady. The pressure is on them at the back end of the set. Down the left edge they come. Here he is again. The golden touch, the twinkly toes of Sincere Haraway once again on show. And the fullback for the Whalers caught in goal.
Well, when the game's on the line, you want your marquee players or your dangerous players, the ones that can make a difference, to step up and take control of the game. In the last sort of 5 minutes, this is the name we've been mentioning more than most, especially from this Bull side. Sincere Haraway showing class, individual class, and his teammates jumping on and putting the Whalers in goal. Look at the body language there, hands on hip. Less talk from the side.
It's a massive dropout and beautifully taken as well by Kirasamane Bowley. But really, you just get the feeling that there is a momentum shift here and the Bulls are full of self-belief. Rolling to their feet as well. Just on 16 and a half to play. They're down by 8 points at the moment. Canterbury, here's a darting run from Riley. We haven't seen much of this so far from him today, but Zach Riley is good. Combine him with Haraway, and they are a potent duo. Wide we come this time, and this is dangerous. This is plenty dangerous for the Whalers. You have to respond with a gutsy line defence effort. But still, the threat has not eroded. It's over the top. The pass is poor, but still there's an opportunity here for Sepuloni. He holds it. He pushes away. He pops the ball, and who's there? Yes, it is. It's Cameron Todd, the Mr. Everywhere guy for the Whalers.
I've got no doubt he was calling for that. No doubt he was calling for that. I'll tell you what, that's the cheeky little halfback that he is. But they're going to need him now. If this Whalers side's going to bring this game home, you need him and Hoare to stand up and bring this team home.
Well, it's about game management now. Look at the clock. Look at how heavily the pressure of the defensive work is weighing on your forwards. Kick into good field position. Work your men. The responsibility here will fall upon Cameron Todd and, of course, the experienced players in the squad. Here it comes. Hoare decides he'll kick it downtown. That's clever. End over end. Looking for the touch line.
Massive, massive play, Hoare. That is what we're talking about. We said you got to stand up. Those halves in particular with a big play. This is a huge play in the context of the game and where we are now when the momentum is all on the Bulls side. This is what you do. It's like a punch in the face. All of a sudden you just get caught off guard, and that's what it does to you. Now they're in prime position here to, to work on that deficit that could make it really difficult for the Bulls.
So here they come now, the Whalers, with another charge. They've got the harpoons at the ready. They can sense there's an opportunity. And in they come, and it's a rolling effort by BJ Tofahono. He hits the line and spins, and out of from nowhere he comes, and he's in to score. BJ Tofahono.
That is a great carry. Tofahono, BJ. Take a bow. Obviously, he's making mention to one of his little babies. But this was, this was a 1 out carry. Normally 1 outs don't do it, but it was the determination. It was a little shrug at the end as well. He was doing the half spin and there was a shrug. Even amongst all those numbers there, he was able to just really pick on the one player and he pushed him off. Great play. Don't forget it goes back to Mackenzie Hoare from Deep, very deep. Kicking that 40-20. Once again, it was more like a 40-10.
Well, BJ hasn't been on all that long. Described it, I think, in a nice way as the clown of the team. You know, you always need a guy who's got a bit of humour about him. And that can be just the mesh that a team needs. And he comes on late, punches his way through, rolls himself through the defensive line and gets the ball to grass. Could that be the one that seals it? Because they're kicking out here still. A long way to go. We don't want to jump our guns. We've done that before, I have, and seen teams run down late in the game. But there he is. And look on the faces of those who are on the bench today. That's not a team doing it tough. That's a team that's full of self-belief.
Yeah, don't forget there is a bit of silverware being played for today. It's a South Island Premier Competition trophy. I believe Otago are the ones that hold it at the current point in time. They will be on today. One of these two teams could be the Whalers at the moment. They're the ones looking most likely. It could be lifting that trophy and taking it home.
Well, it would be the kick he'll pass with that as that found its way to the Bulls. So it turns out to be a goodie. Started off to be a horror, and now the Bulls have got onto the ball, and if they can bounce back with a quick try, then it's all on in the last 10. Look at this guy go, it's Riley. The middle's at Riley now, up playing the ball quickly. It's like they put double happies in their shoes. The boys are moving faster and wanting to get on with it. And a penalty to boot. What about the kickoff, mate? I mean, look at that.
Well, the kickoff, actually what happened from what I could see, the ball fell off the tee and he played on with it. He played on with it. It's great skills. They all jumped on.
Well, the ref said play on because they'd already kicked it. Danger times for the Whalers. They've got to watch out. They won't be able to stop this run. Look at that. And quick as you like, they bounce back. The Bulls with the angled run there from Willie Dofa. And, well, once again, he is a very experienced player, Willie. And he comes back on the angle. I tell you what, a barricade wouldn't have stopped him then. He was intent on taking it in. Look up, he bounces up to his feet. The kick will come soon enough. So 30 points, this will make it 30-22. I'm assuming that Tuamwana Sepuloni will make good with the kick. We are in for a barnstorming finish. (30-22). Another look.
Yeah, it was a third man cut. It was hardly touched too on his way in. It was a beautiful run. He scored that try. Willie Tafua, full of running the Bulls at the moment. You know, with less than 10 minutes to play. I don't know who you back in this 8-point gap. Whoever's got that ball in hand, they can be equally as destructive. Very good running size.
I'd like to see that Mika Muffy. I know he's probably short on fuel at the moment, but he has had such a telling influence in the way that he's set the stage or the platform for the back end of the sets. And they need not panic here. They're in control. The wind is at their backs. It's really got to be the Bulls who've got to make the play. You've got to watch out for Zach Riley, and certainly Sincere as well. There are good players all across the park for the Bulls, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be these innovative ones, and that is a good result for the Whalers. That's a perfect result. It's a goal line dropout, and Sepuloni got a touch to it, and these guys, well, high on life, the Octagon will be going off tonight if these guys come away with a win.
What about a ball on the string?
In your own time.
He's been great with his kicking today, and I've no doubt he was trying to do something similar to that nature or get that out, and now it's their chance. McKenzie.
He's scragged. Another one should be enough, you'd have to think, if the Whalers can come forward with it. Here he comes again, Solia. They'll be thinking 50 long years since Otago have even played against Canterbury, let alone beat them. And there's the dummy, and through they go, and who is it? It's Tonga No for try number 2.
Oh, he's just going from strength to strength in this game. He's obviously got an engine on him, because I tell you what, he looked absolutely fresh, while you see other guys in and around him getting tired, fatiguing. He just jumped out, he showed that ball, and he was just quick when he accelerated to go through the gap. Both markers were there. He's still too quick to beat them. It was a little show in the skip. Then he just took off. He was in mid-air momentarily, and then he was gone. Great play. Tell you what, this young hooker is exciting. He's dynamic. And as this game has gone on, he's just shown more and more why he's one to be known domestically for a long time.
Well, who would have thought a guy debuted just last week could score 2 tries in this history-making encounter? And Tonga, no, well, remarkable. Still, looking for the extras here. And will they able, and the wind at their backs as well. Look at the kickoff as well from this bloke. He's had a wonderful game today, Mackenzie Hoare. Raising the flags as well, Mackenzie, well done. There's your try scorer. He just looked up quickly, saw an opportunity, took a couple of steps to the right, little jink, straighten. And he was in. Well, the confidence is there now. They're feeling like it's going to be theirs, but like I say, you don't want to count your chickens before they hatch, boys. You know that this bloke can make things happen. Well, there you go, and exactly what they didn't want to happen has happened. And they'll be looking to score here quickly.
Once again, ball on a string. How he was able to kick that ball and drop it in perfectly the right place, but also bounce the right way. You know, that was a pretty tough one to manage from side of the Whalers. But exactly what you said. You don't want that sort of thing to happen. You need to, when they kick off, you need to receive and have control of the ball.
There's 14 points here, though. And look, they are desperate. There's nothing like a wounded bull, as we know. So across field they go, looking to try and link up at the moment. Philip Nutty. But again, we're witnessing Herculean efforts here. BJ taking offence. Out wide they come. Here he is. Big champ to his feet down the short side. There's still an opportunity that's trying to be capitalised on. And it is Riley. Down the short side they go, and the defence is solid. Fifth and final tackle here are the Whalers. Referee will ask them to come back and play the ball again.
Early on. Full class, in there, scrum. Before they play the ball,
Well, they dodge a bullet there, the Whalers.
Yeah, I think they should have scored one earlier on. There's a couple of tackles before that play where they obviously made the error. There's a man open outside, failing to pass it on.
An injured player there out on the far side of the field as well that needs some attention. Palu. Not sure that the referee is taking heed at the moment.
Don't make me blow time off, it'll cost you. Hold that line, don't go early, second row, it's out.
So Cameron Todd, he's had a fantastic game today.
Let's go, Paulin.
He feeds the scrum here. Part of a double header, and that ball's gone down. Sepuloni comes up. Nutty will score under the post. They'll take a quick kick. Remember, there's 14 in this one, so there'll be another 6 added here. Still some work to be done here, but certainly not without of reach.
Well, who would want to be a coach? I think both coaches at times would just be pulling out the hair.
Must be close.
Back and forth. It's very much like a yo-yo today. Sometimes unforced errors too. Errors that you wouldn't do again in your lifetime. Let alone here, a drop ball coming off your line. You'd never do that again.
Couldn't write a script like that, could you? But look, now there's still 8 points in this game.
That was good.
And another mistake or 2, and this man will get victory in what could be his last game at the helm for the Bulls. Wonderful servant of the game. Says after 5 years, might concentrate more on other pursuits, including his own family. Andrew, thanks for the good times. Will he go out a winner or a loser here? Well, time will tell with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play. A nail-biting conclusion to the South Island part of the championship, and as mentioned here, everything up in the air really. The conclusion of the other parts of the NZRL Championship. And that's a good take at the back, cleverly done by Jordan Campbell. The run from Fa'aiva has been one of the best through the campaign.
One marker.
The 20-metre line, and now they're winding themselves up. Who's getting into the defensive work? It's now. He comes across.
Quickly,
There's no way forward. Young Tonga. Inside ball from Bowley.
Release! No markers, no!
Here they come again, it's Riley. Riley's got Haraway there. Is that Bowley?
4! Clear!
4 gone. 8 points in it. 3 minutes to play. It's Haraway, the dancing Haraway, the spinning and twisting Haraway. The tearaway is taken by Cameron Todd.
He's brilliant.
Here's the 5th tackle now. It's out to Sapoloni. It's a cutout ball. It's Nutty. Nutty with the ball. One hand hold. Back on the inside. Sapoloni coming out of Fowler. And then he's wrapped up. And Ho losing the ball. And the Whalers get hold of it. Could that be what they need to get this historic win?
I think you'll find so. It's a penalty.
Well, they just need to keep their heads that time around. Teru Ropeti found himself in possession of the ball. Yes, a panic attack was coming, and understandably why. They can see the clock, they can see the scoreline. They need to score twice, the Canterbury Bulls. And they'll go a long way towards securing this momentous victory. They can just keep their heads across this next set. So it's Ropeti who takes the tap. It's T-Mac who carries in. They just don't need to do anything silly. Get to the back end of the 6. Game management is what's needed here from the Otago Whalers. Dave Reedy
Tackle 2! Stand together! Look at it, Marcus.
And unable to contain himself at the moment. But they did come in with some confidence. I spoke last night with their manager, Melanie Jutel. There is a penalty, which could also prove costly.
No, you run behind your own men. Happy there.
And one of the men who's been so instrumental in what should be a victory is Mika Muffy.
Stand together!
It's just a little error at the back end. 36-28. Out it comes now for Bowley and the Otago Whalers. Just a handful of clubs in the Otago district. As mentioned, started in 1924, but really, you can back it up to 1908. And this proud region set up their rugby league community. And this is going to be a remarkable victory should the hooter sound, and Canterbury unable to get to the line. This is Ian Carmona. He's tried hard.
Hit the line!
We're into the last minute of play.
Oh.
The Whalers, they're into it at the moment. The kick to the end goal is secured. The try is secured. Poley gets the try.
Oh, great work. He's pumped up.
Caught in front, though's the call.
Oh, it's over.
Good, fellas, thank you. Good stuff.
Well, it's over Red Rover then, if that's the case. And there they are so pleased with what they've been able to achieve. What a day of rugby league it's been here at Ngāpunawai Stadium in Christchurch. Who would have thought a 20-all draw initially with the women, Canterbury women, Wellington Orcas women, and now a massive upset in South Island Rugby League as the Otago Whalers on the cusp of a huge historic victory. The first time in 5 decades the two teams have done battle, and there you have it. Otago Whalers have beaten the Canterbury Bulls in an historic match here in Christchurch. Amazing scenes, gutsy performances, and one for the days. The Whalers take the Bulls and they win this 36-28.
Well, this morning they woke up, they got on a plane to Christchurch. They'll probably go home tonight, I'm sure, but they go home very happy, victorious. She mentioned 50 years in between drinks until you had both full strength sides, Otago and Canterbury, playing The trophy is on the line today, South Island Premier Competition Trophy, and we know who's victorious now. Great win. It was back and forth. There was a real tussle throughout. Tell you what, though, it's been entertaining, Dale.
What a massive effort. Look, it's been 50 years since they played, and the last time they played, they lost 84-5. I'm not even sure when the last time Otago would have beaten Canterbury, if ever, but they've beaten them today. And that man right in front of the screen, look at the smile on the big fella's face. Mika Muffy, he was exceptional. He's the oldest guy in the team, and what a way to lay down a platform. Look at the elation that they are sharing as proud men, proud athletes, proud of their region, as they should be as well. Here they come, disappointed, but also showing great sportsmanship and acknowledging they were beaten by a better team on the day. As the Canterbury Bulls come through, they will win the South Island leg of it, and but they didn't get the win here today. Let's go and hear from one of the captains of the Canterbury Bulls, Sincere Haraway. Sincere, thanks for joining us here on Sky Sport.
Hey
Sincere, it's me, Dale. Look, I know you'll be disappointed, firstly. And that was a gutsy effort from the team you played against. And I guess it just goes to show that despite your best preparation, sometimes you can't underestimate the opposition. I know you didn't, but you must have mixed emotions at the back end of that one, Sincere.
No, yeah, definitely. It's footy at the end of the day. The better team came out and played, but it's just real good to play in the competition like this. And these boys, like, they came up and turned up against us, and every team did, especially like the West Coast and Southland too. But credit to our boys, just staying through and sticking to the end.
Sincere Montebetham here, mate. Commiserations on the match. In terms of what troubled you most, or in terms of what you were most disappointed about today, and then hence not getting the effort as a result of that?
Yeah, probably just our attitude. We let them get their go for, and our fitness wasn't there, and our line speed wasn't there either. We didn't match with their physicality at the start, and we just had to play catch-up footy.
Sincere, just finally, mate, look, you had a wonderful season personally. You were also pretty outstanding throughout this tournament. Andrew Amatangi's probably going to hang up his coaching role after 5 years with the Bulls. Not the way he would have wanted to go out, but even so, as a servant to the game in Canterbury, what would you say of him?
Andrew's a big part of our game in Canterbury. He's always there for the boys and teaching us what we need to know. And he'll be disappointed, but his head will be up high, and he'll just want us to keep our head high too and not let it get to us.
Well, it's been nice seeing you on the field. All the best to you, Sincere. We're looking forward to seeing you for many years ahead. All the best to you as well. Until next time, thanks for sharing some cordial.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, there you go. That's one of the co-captains of the Canterbury Bulls. Obviously disappointed, Monty, but I think that he, in a very sporting gesture, acknowledged that a team came with more intent, and they put it all together as well today. Well, we do have the victorious captain for the Otago Whalers, and how wonderful it is to be able to spend some time with you, Ricky. Look, it's Dale Husband here, Ricky. You're the first bloke that anyone knows to be the president of an association and the captain of the New Zealand Universities team, and turning out for Otago today. This must be one heck of a feeling for you. What sort of emotions can you share with us right now?
Oh yeah, it's a pretty awesome feeling for us, to be honest. When you're coming up here, it's going to be a bit of a step up, and the Bulls are a tough side, so it was never going to be easy. But we're pretty happy with that. We've been grinding and toiling away for a few years now, so it might not be as big of a surprise for us as it is for everyone else. But yeah, it's a bit like Biggie said, if you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, Ricky Montebetham here. Congratulations on the result. Now, from your coach, there was thoughts of belief that you could go on and win this game, but now to actually have experienced that, what's the feeling like with you and also amongst your teammates?
Oh, look, we're obviously pretty excited. I know for a lot of the new boys especially, that was a massive win. But to be fair, I think we'd take it pretty humbly and just look at that as a stepping stone. You know, that's not the end of the race. That's not anything to really jump and joy about. We're on a journey here, and we're making progress, and we'll just keep making that progress. So yeah, happy, but still plenty of work to be done.
50 years since the two teams have played, Ricky. So this was history in the making. I think last time that the fully fledged Otago and Canterbury teams did battle. It was an 84-5 result for the Cantabrians. So, you know, you've got a team of really committed guys, some super young talent. And look at this bloke, scores 2 tries on debut. Team him up as well with big Mika Muffy and yourself as the bookends. I mean, the balance that was on show for the Whalers today was quite exceptional. What would you say of the way you've come together as just blokes who love rugby league?
Oh, I think you summed it up perfectly there, eh? We're sort of an eclectic mix. We've got students, we've got builders, we've got fathers, we've got teachers like myself. We've got a whole bunch. So we come from all sort of different walks of life, but we all share that passion for rugby league, and we're all doing this for each other, and we're here to build. Like I said, we just continue to grow. So it's an exciting side, and some of these boys they've come a long way in the short period of time. Most of them are union boys making the switch, and they're loving rugby league, and that's what we want to promote.
Well, you promoted it in the best possible way today, my friend, and travel safe back to Otago, and know that all league followers around the country really sat up and took notice of your gutsy effort and your gutsy win today. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks very much for that. Shout out to John McGlashan College.
Indeed. Why shouldn't you teach? That's the way to go. Good man, and they're full of some good characters. All right, we've got some presentations coming in, as you've mentioned as well. So, you know, there's not a crowd here today, but I'm pleased you're able to witness it at home. It was a privilege to bring you the action. Of course, Canterbury have won because of the... Oh, we'll go and have a listen here quickly.
First of all, I want to congratulate Canterbury on coming into the South Island competition and the manner that you've taken on our sides, who normally just, you know, play in that South Island competition without you. Really appreciate you coming on board. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. When some of these teams have given you a real good run for it, so it's all healthy, isn't it? You know, it's all healthy for the growth of the game in the South Island. To the Otago boys, well done on the result today. You know, I know you've pulled up short a few times in some of the national championship stuff, so well done there. But for the South Island Premiership this year, the trophy by points differential goes to Canterbury, so well done. Cindy, if you come forward.
Shop boys, just for Otago. I was meaning to play you guys, and you guys just showed up on the day, and you guys won, But just, yeah, congrats to you on the win. And to our boys, heads up, Hopefully we get a game next week, 2 weeks, but if not, there's always next year, But yeah, sweet.
Sincere Haraway, he's a class act on the field, class act off the field as well. Well, there they are. They're the Canterbury Bulls. They pick up the trophy because of points differential, but really the kudos this afternoon must go to the Otago Whalers. A few bicep curls as well with the trophy. What's that trophy, boys? We've seen too many examples of the trophies going to ground. Let's have a look at some of the second half highlights. Alrighty. Well, it started off with T-Mac. That's Mackenzie who came flying through to get a 24-12 lead. The dancing shoe man was in next.
And then it was Haraway. That speed, and when you talk about what you're trying to do in the big games, he really did try and step up for this team, and he was great after that in terms of what he said to the side as well. But of course, it was the run of Kavaiono. His try won out, but in terms of coming off the bench, he was very fresh. He scored a brilliant try.
Tafua came on the angle. No one was going to stop him there. He came through like an express train and gave them some hope at the back end, but that hope was quickly dashed by this run.
Oh, no, Tonga, no. He's just went from strength to strength throughout this game. All three of them, 6, 7, and 9 in particular now, and what he did from them half. But it was this mistake that cost him in the end. It was Toi Sepoloni who got through, and it was the co-captain Nazi who scored the try, but it was too little too much, wasn't it, in the end, Dale?
Well, it was just, you know, you couldn't write this script, and for the Otago boys, as you say, a day that will live long in their memories, their families' memories as well. Great efforts from Canterbury, Otago. Thanks so much to the West Coast and Southland squads as well. As photos are taken, perhaps this lineup may never be shown again. Otago with a wonderful victory here against the Canterbury Bulls. A big sporting day. On behalf of all of us here from Sky Sport, it's been great having your company and support local sport each and every day. We'll catch you next time.